Magnagothica Malagast by Tom Bloom, aka the Kill 6 Billion Demons guy, is a necromancer tabletop wargame set at a city in a hole at the end of the world that's sinking straight to hell, and yes, Tom wrote and drew this whole thing while simultaneously working on his webcomic, Lancer, and Icon projects all at once. I'm always excited for more wonderful indie TTRPG, but the pace at which Tom works at really frightens me sometimes. So what the hell is Malagast really is about? Well, it's set in Anzenmezzeron, the city of 1 billion corpses, where people cannot die. Among the colorful inhabitants of the city include Lucretia the Repentant, Skeleton Ball, Waste of Life, Maw Cellar, Skinless Horror, City Outskirt Variant, and Ibis, Blade of Rubicon. The city's regional cuisine is its famous meat dumpling that's good enough to die for, and its most well-known export is hordes of ravenous ghouls that must be put down by neighboring kingdoms and nations in massive bloody crusades, and also necromancers. Necromancy is a forbidden rite in most if not all places outside of the dead city, a practice seen so foul, so faithless, and inherently evil, that most practitioners are hunted down on sight. Anyway, in Anzenmezzeron nobody gives a shit and practically everyone dabble in the dark arts once in a while. However, only the most powerful of necromancers, those from a major houses, who have undergone trials to cheat their own death, who have fortified their souls and minds against spiritual degradation, set their sights on great things, to seek the end of death in the Stygian labyrinth within the city, grasp that power for themselves, and become the true Lord of Darkness, rightful ruler of Anzenmezzeron. That's you, by the way. Tom, you read Dungeon Meshi, didn't you? So how do you actually play Malagast? Well, you gonna need at least 3 or 4 d6, and initiative is decided at the beginning of a match by having each side rolling a d6, rerolling any ties. The side 1 get to deploy their unit first, followed by the other sides. And for turn order, the side that won initiative also gets to activate their unit first, either move, then act, or move, then move. They then pass the turn to other side, they move their unit, and this repeat until every unit has been moved. A match lasts until either the opponent has been defeated, an objective has been achieved, or until round 6, in which case things are tied, so a game of Malagast can be done very quickly. All units have their own special act abilities, and usually, these abilities requires a d6 roll to see if they hit, and sometimes you get more or less dice. To hit and deal full damage, you have to roll past a unit's defense. If not, you still graze them for 1 damage, though if the target has some kind of armor type, they might block that damage too. There's more, but that's the basis of how combat works in Malagast. Now, let's talk about how to make your own Black Mass and Necromancer. Black Mass is basically the unholy undead that you command, and you can pick 5 of them by default, 4 in larger game that contains 4 necromancers at once, because you will quickly find the map to be very cramped, which is usually in 8x8 and 10x10 sizes. The unit type can include Thralls, which are units so expendable you get 2 of them per unit, Scion, Specialist elite unit different for each house, Freak, the support unit, Horror, the fucking speed demon, Hunter, the one with big gun, and Tyrant, the one that's just big. The number in parenthesis besides the name is the maximum amount of that unit type you can take in your Black Mass at once. For your Necromancer, things are a little more special. Other than the act abilities, you also get to perform soul abilities, powerful abilities that require souls to utilize. You get souls passively at the start of every round, or from your own unit dying. Also, because you are the one thing holding your Black Mass together, everyone is encouraged to directly attack you or other Necromancer whenever possible to wipe out your whole Black Mass in one go. Luckily, as long as you are adjacent to a unit, if an attack is headed directly your way, your minion can take it for you. However, this only works if the attack is aimed directly at you. For example, your minion can't protect you from Holy Hand Grenade. There's also one more thing that decides how high level the game will be, the Malice level, ranging from Spite, Loathing, Hatred, Hell, and Ultra Hell. From the selected Malice level, players of each side can upgrade their unit with new abilities, or give their Necromancer more act or soul abilities. And as an optional rule, you can commit heresy. In base rule, you can only pick units from your own house. With heresy in play, if agreed by other players, you can get units from other houses. This has the complication of making a game more complicated because units from different houses have different rules to play, but if you want, you can have it, just ask first. So, what are the major houses you can join in? In Malagast, there's 6 major houses, each specialized in different necromancy tactics. These includes Carcass, a private military company that can be summed up with one word: guns. Guns for little dude, guns for Metal Gear, and guns for goblins that vomit ammo for allies. and then explodes. Gore grinders are what happens if Chainsawman is obsessed with speed instead of tits, and also there's like a dozen of them. They are hyper-mobile, hyper-dangerous, but only at melee range, which is the best range. Gargamics are not a house, and are instead a bunch of people granted dark power by a filth devil for shits and giggles. Every single thing here is sick as hell, in the most literal sense, and can spread plague by their presence, dead, or deader. Dead souls are dark priests of the dead god Gormengor that have sacrificed their soul to the god for mastery over soul itself, capable of inflicting true death onto even the undead. In practice, they are very good at isolating their opponents by walling things up like goddamn Tetrix, and then either phasing through walls or attacking through obstruction like goddamn horror movie monsters, which is probably how others see dead souls. Abhorrers are an ancient heretic order that split off from the Holy Lance Church Knights 500 years ago, and figured that the best way to fight the scourge of necromancy is to hypocritically learn it themselves. They are nothing special, besides defying death more often than usual, and also get stronger as time goes on, as repentance cannot be avoided, only delayed. And lastly, Igori are a family made up of those who have fallen into the darker science, experimenters, scientists, traveling physicians. Their units could practically piece themselves together and then some. Corpses are plentiful in the dead city after all, might as well utilize them to their fullness. And that's basically it on Magnagothica Malagast, a fast-paced heavy metal necromancer tactic tabletop war game. You can get it now on itch.io. You know, I'm actually not that into tabletop war game, as they are often overwhelmingly complicated, but that can be fun for some people. I'm a fan of BattleTech after all, but they also often have a massive money barrier in getting into the game, which actually blocks people from getting into them. It's why despite the popularity of things like Warhammer 40k, you still see more people getting into drugs instead, though maybe that's more because of the worsening condition of human health brought by the worsening environment condition we are facing because of capitalism. And it's why I start to appreciate indie tabletop war game like Maleghast more, as they are often easy to understand and way more accessible to most people. It's even designed for virtual tabletop so you can easily play it online with others, and considering a match of Maleghast usually lasts for maybe an hour, it doesn't take a lot of time to set things up too, making it even more accessible to more people. Anyway, that's all for now and I will see you all next time. Hello there, if you like this video, please subscribe to my channel and click that notification bell button. If you really want to support my channel, you could visit my Patreon page, or buy me some coffee, links in the description. Anyway, have a nice day.